Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I get creative with the quality restoration on my pitiful Puma's rubber roof that's rotten beneath the long expired rear seal, now that I finally have the frustrating first half of my new floor finished. It looks like I'm going to have to come from it at all sides. Alright, it might not surprise you to know that I've got this first piece of flooring put in, and I even had a refrigerator sitting right here and a shelf I found outside of the road, that at a yard sale. And I went ahead and moved it because I got the flooring done that I had stacked up against the bathroom door. Couldn't get into the bathroom for over a month. Checked the rat traps and the bait is still in it, which means there's no rats running around in here, which means I don't have to worry about the insulation underneath the floor having trouble. So I did what was suggested and left a little bit of a gap between here, which actually really wasn't by choice. It's kind of couldn't really get it to squeeze in any further. And as you can see, solid and flat all the way across. Whereas when I started, this thing here was going like this. Same over here. Solid. And I even got a little speed bump put up under there and set the slide out back down. So we're in good shape there. So now my next step will be taking out the bathroom, the bed, and doing the same thing so I can roll the floor out. But before I do all of that, because it's still half a month or more, 2 or 3 weeks till I get money to do the vinyl flooring, you know, it'll be about $100 for the rest of the flooring. 4 more sheets of the 23/32, and maybe 20 or 30 bucks for some more 2x material if I gotta buy some more to fix up the floor joist and whatnot. And then next month when I get my deposit, I'll spend the 350 bucks on the vinyl flooring. I've already got the gallon of RV and marine glue from Rec Pro, and of course I have to come in and put all the screws down in the flooring and probably come back with some filler or Bondo and make them flat, 'cause I really want this to be a nice solid flat floor. But before I do all of that, the main reason why I even got the camera out, make this update video, is because I'm about to start recording this. I am going to go ahead and cut out this ceiling and replace this joist, or the ceiling, yeah, it's a joist, isn't it? Anyway, replace it so that I can get up there and seal this seam up and start working my way back on this roof. The next fixture will be there, which I believe means that I can take this first piece of tarp off of the roof and go ahead and get rid of it, and then be down here. And you know, like I said, the main reason why I haven't even gotten to it was because of the floor. I really needed a good solid floor to start working on the ceiling. Same thing, as soon as I get the floor over here, or even just the bed out where I can walk around in here, I'll go ahead and get that seam up, and then the rest of the roof is easy peasy. Should be pretty breezy if it's not blowing too hard. And the other thing I'm going to start working on is a water heater. I got that 10-gallon water heater. Worst thing I think it would need is a logic board and another anode rod, and then I can upgrade the water heater in this thing as well. Oh, and one more other quick thing I did while I had the floor up is I went ahead and ran me a solid piece of PEX with a little little bend adapter so it doesn't pinch or crimp, and I ran it right along the top of the floor joist and floor where the insulation. Hopefully I don't poke through it with a screw. I do need to be careful of that, mindful of that. But anyway, it runs all the way over here bends over here, and then bend back up right there, where I can go ahead and put the city water connector on it. And that way it's one solid piece. There'll be no connections underneath there. And then since there'll be a big kitchen cabinet here, I can run the hot and cold water line just right along the wall, over the furnace, underneath the fridge, and boom, into the bathroom. And again, oops, because it's been a while. I'm planning on taking that counter right there and moving it over there, up against that wall there. And the only trick will be running the water lines and the heater duct I want going out to the bedroom back up against that wall. Like I said, I might try to go under the floor a little bit right there with that stuff, but may not work out so good. And then the drain line from the sink can come along here and meet up with the kitchen sink drain. Yeah, I think I got this thing here all figured out. All right, let's get to work on the ceiling and roof so I can start taking the tarps off of this thing before they become leaky, give me trouble, and need replacing. I can save the tarps and save me money on other tarps if I get this done quick enough. All right, after cutting this out, it's really not as rotted up in here for patching it up as I thought. I get a little piece up in here and a little to fill in right up here, and right about, I don't know, somewhere in here, it kind of gets solid again, where I can get some screws down through to hold it. And something similar over here, get something up in this corner to fill in that gap, and the rest of it looks like it might be good enough to hold some screws. I may have to come in with little anchors, so to speak, up under here to hold some of these screws, but I think I can get away with not doing too much today on this. This thing here, I noticed, for the air conditioner, is just taped off right here, but I've reached my finger around over here. And can I get the camera up in there? I don't think I can, but look at that. Rat rodents have tore a hole up in there. So that means if I'd have got this air conditioner going without noticing that, it'd have just been blowing cold air out up into the ceiling. So I need to make sure that this thing here is nice and tight. Like I said, I think when I redo this, I'll do it a little differently. All right, I got everything cleaned up, which, to be honest, when it's the proper RV products properly put on, it's so much easier than when they use stuff you get at the hardware store made for houses, or even worse, the Flex Seal tape. But this is what I've decided to do to get by for now. The basic idea is I got to fill this gap up and get it line back up over there. And this doesn't even go all the way to the end. And this neither does this. And what I'm going to do, since this is going to get a new roof eventually, is I'm going to come in with a 4-inch piece of 1/2-inch plywood, so it comes out over to here, and carve out the little bit of spots here that are still there. And going to probably have to slip it in from underside, we'll see, but or from the outsides in, but stick it up in here and just lay it and screw it down. And I'm gonna got some spray adhesive, high temperature spray adhesive like they use for putting the headliners back on cars, and I'm just gonna spray this and do the best job I can. And then from the underside, if I want, I can take another piece of plywood stripping, put it between the two, and screw through so that this is supported by that. So there's my plywood strips. Let's see how they go in. All right, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've got my plywood up along here, and I'm taking my spray adhesive and applying it up in here. And I had to put the camera down and get up in the corner there. I'm gonna let it sit for 10 minutes and then peel it back, and then put the staples in it, and then ready for the butyl putty tape and screws and die core, and I'm done. I'll show you what I did on the underside here. All right, this is what I'm using as a spray adhesive, and don't forget to shake it up before and during use, and when you're done, hold it upside down and spray it for a few seconds till the adhesive stops coming out to keep it from clogging up. So what I did was, like I said, I come in with a 4-inch piece of 1/2-inch plywood all the way across on top of the joists, and it's not a solid piece, but where it wasn't grabbing quite good, I put these little couplers here and screwed down, and it fills in wonderfully. So then I took another piece about 4 inches and put it on the little lip sticking out, and it's sitting underneath the old plywood or OSB, so it's actually, you can walk on it and it's more solid than it ever was before. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, but anyway, that's about as good as you're going to get without replacing the roof. That's as, close to new without going too crazy, since it's all got to come apart again anyway. Oh, and while I got that open, maybe I should get up in there and take that off. All right, would you look at that? I am finally finished with the back quarter of the RV roof. Had a couple little perforations that I buffed out and put the die core on, but the big trick is, look how well this came out. Pretty awesome. Yeah, buddy. All right, I can take this first piece of tarp off of here and leave it off now. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot one more spot. Oh, what do you think of my new gun? I got put one little staple hole in the metal over here somewhere. I got to find it and caulk it, and then I'm done. All right, that little bit of caulking took care of that little pinhole from the staple hole I set too low, and everything else is looking good and tight. Like I said, this is as permanent of a repair as you can do for being temporary, if that makes any sense at all. Meaning, in a year or two, when I go to replace this roof, this ought to be the last thing to fail, or something like that. Anyway, pretty awesome. It just got done raining the next day. Been almost about 20 hours or so. It was about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, evening, when I got finished with this. And it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. And like I said, it's been raining on and off, a little heavy, a few minutes at times for the last, I don't know, half hour to hour. And not a single spot of wetness in sight. But what else do you expect when you do it just right? I hope you enjoyed that video at least as much as I enjoy life to make it so far. I believe the hardest parts are behind me, and it's mostly my injured elbows that are slowing things down and may keep me from doing any more gigantic jobs without hired help, or at all if my injured elbows never properly heal. Stay tuned, there's more to catch up on and more to come. Jaybird, you got so much to say today. Unfortunately, KK's may have sepsis and may not make it. Bye.